Hello, and welcome to my podcast, Have You Ever Seen a Ghost?, where I ask people if they've ever seen a ghost. In this episode, I'll be interviewing one of my teachers about a ghost she saw on campus. Now, I'm not exactly an expert, more of a fanatic, so if I say something wrong, feel free to correct me. Anyways, I'm kind of new at this, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, so what exactly did you see?
Okay, I saw something that I don't know if anybody else on campus has seen, but other people have seen it too. There's always been rumors about this building. We took it over as a classroom in 1989. And when we all moved in, everybody, even the most empirical person on campus who was in the building, saw things like the edge of a fluttering scarf or something like that.
Yeah.
Even people, I don't know if you ever knew who Rush Rankin was.
Mm-mm.
Well, he was not the type to think he'd seen a ghost, but he saw that all the time. And the most activity was on the second floor at the top of the stairs, right where the hallway intersects.
Are you
right in
serious?
Yes.
Dude, I was about to ask about that place because when I did like this walkthrough, I was like, especially like towards the right of the stairs,
Which
I
is where
get
my office used to be.
Vibes
Yes.
from that hallway.
Yes.
That's like right through that door.
That's right through that door, right. And Rick Anderson, who used to be in the office I'm in now, who was a chemist before he was anything else, so he's like Mr. Scientist.
Mm-hmm.
He saw stuff all the time. All the time. So when I told him I saw stuff, he said, okay, I'll tell you the story. It was either late November or early December because it was after the time change, so it got dark really early, and I was at school late. So I'd been in my office, it was dark outside, and just based on people stopping by to say goodbye, I pretty much thought I was in the building by myself.
Yeah.
I finished what I was doing, I closed up my office, I got all my stuff, and the blinds on the windows that face the painting building, you go down half the stairs and you're looking out, looking north. When it's dark outside and the lights are on inside, windows become like mirrors and you can see reflection. So I was walking down the stairs and I looked up and I saw a woman standing behind me on the stairs at the top. And it was a woman who looked like she might be early 70s. She had gray hair pulled back, very attractive woman. Hair pulled back in I didn't see the back of her head, but in my head it was a bun.
Yeah.
But very soft, pretty. She had no expression whatsoever. She was wearing a round-collared beige dress. And I don't have any memory of her body below about hip level.
Yeah.
But that's what I saw. And I looked and I thought, oh. And so I turned around and I'm speaking as I'm turning around. I'm saying, I thought I was the only person in the building and there's nobody there. And then I look back and she's there. And I look back and she's not there.
Did she move at all? Or was she just standing there? Do you know?
She seemed just to be standing there. But, and this is the part of the recollection I'm not clear on.
Mm-hmm.
After I realized there was nobody there, the thing is, I wasn't the slightest bit scared. It wasn't scary in the slightest. And I thought, oh, the ghost. And I kept walking down the stairs, but I have a dim recollection that the face, how the handrail is wood, and it kind of goes up and then goes straight. I have kind of a dim recollection of the face being on the front of the wood handle. And I'm not clear about that. I'm crystal clear about seeing her.
Which staircase was this in? Was it in the big one? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the big one. It's the one that's public, not the back one.
The back one.
Yeah. And when I got downstairs, I realized there was another person in the building because what is the lounge now and that bigger bathroom and Boyer's office?
Yeah.
That used to be the Academic Resource Center. And Patty Jackowitz used to be the director of it. And I saw that she was in her office. But it never occurred to me to say anything to her. I mean, it was so unthreatening.
Because you were just kind of like, oh.
Oh, yeah. afterwards I told her about that, and she said, "You could have mentioned it." And I'm sorry, I just didn't even think of it. I went home, and at that time I lived in an apartment way south,
Yeah.
and it had 2 bathrooms, one right off my bedroom and one in the hall by the living room. For the next week or so, at exactly 2:00 in the morning, the water in the hall bathroom would turn on full force, and it would be so loud it would wake me up.
Gosh.
And I'd have to get out of bed, walk in, turn it off. Come on. And what it said to me is that she came home with me. I don't know if that's true or not, who knows. But then I'd go right back to sleep because it wasn't scary.
Threatening.
Yeah, no, not at all. And finally, after a couple weeks, I just thought, I'm done with this. And so I just kind of said to the room, enough already. You're coming back to school with me tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's it. It never happened again. Ever. And so I told a few people, including Rick Anderson, the one who was originally the chemist. And he said, okay, here's who you call. And he told me to call a man named Maurice Schwalm, which is a weird name, Schwalm, because he was a historian who was writing a book on the occult history of Kansas City. So I called him. And by the way, you can find his book on Amazon. They sell it. I called him, and when I described what I saw, he said, yep, that's what everybody sees. It's, not everybody sees her, but if they do, that's who they see. And it's not Mrs. Baty. That's the nickname for her, but the Batys were not the people who built this building. There was an older family, and she is in some way, I don't remember the name, but she was in some way related to those people. It turns out that this whole triangle of Southmoreland Park, the Art Institute, and the Nelson has all kinds of occult activity.
I've actually heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard there's some in the Nelson too.
Oh, there are all kinds of stories, many of which they don't share. But if you ask a curator or something, they'll go, totally. I never saw her again. And I never felt a presence, ever. A couple years later, this is really unrelated but related, the school used to own the Renaissance Festival, and it was used as a fundraiser.
Yeah.
And I don't really like those things, but once, we could go for free, so a bunch of us went, and we did have a good time. But we decided to go to a person who read palms, just for the fun of it. And she did my friend Lori first, and was absolutely dead on, including saying, there are bricks all around your bed. And my friend Lori's like, what are you talking about? And she, no. And then I said, Lori, the back wall of your bedroom is brick. She's like, right. Then my friend Deb sat down, and she told her a bunch of stuff. And then she said, you have one of those energy strips where you've got a lot of things plugged in. You have too many things plugged in. It's too hot. It's going to cause a fire. Go home and unplug everything. And when she got back, it was red hot. It was like that close to starting a fire.
That's crazy.
It is. And then she got to me. I sat down, put out my hands. She picked them up, and then she threw them down again. And she said, you see ghosts. And I thought, well, as a matter of fact, I have, yes. And just as an aside, years before, I had gone to England with my best friend, and we were going through this Renaissance manor house in the middle of the Avebury Stone Circle. And we were on the top floor, and I walked into the master bedroom, and I was hit with this blast of cold air.
Yeah.
And I sort of recoiled, and I thought, air conditioning in here? That's weird.
Yeah.
And the guide said tonight,
Yeah.
these things cost almost $100, and I'm not going to leave it here.
Yeah.
So I don't care what time I realize it. I get in the car and come get it. By then, they've turned off all but the safety lights in the building.
Yeah.
And I don't like coming into this building at night.
Yeah.
I really don't. And it isn't that spirit. I don't know if it's just because it's dark, and I know the campus isn't safe at night.
Yeah.
But I'm not afraid when I'm outside the building. But when I come inside the building, I come right in here, I grab it, and I get out as quick as I can. I don't like it in here at night.
I haven't really been here at night, so I'll have
Now,
to go and
Phyllis Moore is here at night all the time. Steve Cromwell is here at night all the time. Neither of them have ever had an experience. But
That's interesting.
I don't like to be here at night. So, that's it.
Cool. So, what do you want to know about her? Like
About this
the ghost? Yeah. Like I could
wanna-
ask stuff like, like what does it mean that she showed herself to you?
I'd like to know that.
Okay.
And I'd like to know, has she left? Or has she just decided to shut herself off from us? Can you ask something like that?
Something like that, yeah. I'll ask like, as of here, I'll do a past, present, future read. So it'll be like, with the Baty house ghost, like in relation to you, like what is going on with her
Okay.
in the past and the present and the future. So what's going on with her,
I hope she's all right. I have a kind of proprietary interest in her
Yeah,
that I care about what happens to her.
yeah. Okay. So the past got the Ace of Cups, which means fulfillment, perfection, joy, fertility, opulence, and productiveness.
Oh.
So that could apply to like her life before or just like her being here in general before. So that's good.
This was a home of some money, some resources.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad to
So it
know
could be
that.
And then for the present, we got the Two of Wands, which means mature individual, housekeeper, attainment of goals and needs, boldness, and dominant personality.
Oh, interesting.
So I could see that with her being like a housekeeper and her just sort of like watching over this place.
Like the maternal
Yeah.
persona. Yeah.
And
And
then
then this is
the future, we got the Knight of Swords, but
Swords,
it's
yeah.
inverse. So, that might not be great.
oh dear.
Yeah. Incapacity, imprudence, simplicity, disunion, and impulsive mistakes.
Maybe
So-
that's why she's still here.
That could be.
If she is.
I think that could relate to them tearing down the building.
Oh, that's
The
true.
impulsive mistakes thing and like the
Yeah.
disunion.
Yeah. Disunion, you're right. That seems to make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
How interesting. Well, I'm not offering that she could come home with me. I'm not offering. But in my mind, and this has no validity except it's what I would wish for her, that she would go into something animate, like a tree
Oh, yeah.
or something like that, because there are lots of big, beautiful old trees around here, some of which may have been here when she lived in this house.
Yeah, that's true.
And I would think that might be a surrogate home for her, if she hasn't just gone home.
Gone home, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I can ask, like, trying to think of how to word this, because you can't ask, like, yes or no questions
Right.
with the cards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever gotten a reading before.
I have, long time ago. I learned in that one that there's a good possibility I was burned at the stake in 14th century Paris. But it was because I had asked a question. I'm horribly afraid of fire.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't like the city, or until recently, I didn't care for the city of Paris. For no good reason, nothing bad ever happened to me in Paris.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it. And that's what kind of seemed to arise out of that conversation. But that person did tarot, he read palms, he did all kinds of things.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask, like, what do you want Michelle to know?
Oh, that's a good question.
Knight of Swords.
And
Did we
it's-
just get that?
Yes, we did.
I always do this. I always pull the same card over and over again.
Interesting.
Do you think I shuffled well enough?
No, but it's what happened. So it must have some.
So yeah, that's Incapacity, imprudence, simplicity, disunion, and impulsive mistakes.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I'll ask again just in case. I always do that if I pull the same card, like just to get a clearer answer in case I just didn't shuffle well.
Well, and the way you're shuffling them, that's always going to end up on the top.
Oh, you're right. Okay, let's see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pull one from the middle and then.
There you go.
Dun-dun.
Okay, I'm about to make some impulsive mistakes.
The Knight of Swords inverse again.
Interesting. Will you tell me again what those are?
That's incapacity, imprudence, simplicity, disunion, and impulsive mistakes. So she really wants you to know that.
Incapacity, holy cow.
Incapacity, yeah. Well, even when I pulled it from the middle. Crazy when that happens.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
That's what she wants you to know. Okay, and then I also like to ask, like, what's the best course of action? You know?
Oh, okay.
Like, that always helps me. Especially if I get a bad reading, I'm like, okay, what do we need to do?
Yeah.
Like, what do y'all need to do? What do you need to do? Inverse death. Oh boy.
Holy shit. Excuse me.
Okay, this isn't necessarily a bad card. And in reverse, it's stagnatism, immobility, slow change, partial change, avoidance of serious accident, and inertia. So,
That doesn't sound so good either.
it doesn't sound great. I mean, at least no one died though, right?
Yeah, nobody died.
Nobody died. Stagnatism, immobility, slow changes, partial change, avoidance of serious accident, and inertia.
Well, avoidance of serious accident is a good thing.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah. Well, slow change I can understand.
I think the slow change and partial change part
Yep.
would make sense.
And a little inertia is something I am dealing with.
Interesting.
Okay.
Anything else you want to?
Can you ask things about like longevity and things like that?
Like what? Like in the long run, what will happen? Okay, yeah.
I mean, in the long run, we're all going to go.
Yeah.
But given the first card that kept showing up again.
In the long run, what will happen to Miss Baty, or not Miss Baty, the Baty House ghost?
Yeah.
If I pull the same card, I swear.
Now, wait, were we asking about her or about me?
For that one, that was about you.
Okay. Were we also asking about me for the upside down?
That was like about you and her. Like
Okay.
her in relationship to you.
Okay.
And like why she showed herself to you. So, what will happen to her in the long run? Pull from the middle again.
Okay.
Two of
Pentacles.
And that means, and it's inverse as well. Literary ability in handling matters, enforced gaiety, and letter. So good.
Yeah.
Good.
That is good.
Good for her.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Read the inverse one, the swords one again, because it's for the relationship I have with her.
The one that we kept pulling?
Yes.
Inverse Knight of Swords. Incapacity, imprudence, simplicity, disunion, and impulsive mistakes.
So disunion, it's like, no wonder I don't see her anymore.
Yeah. definitely.
Okay.
That's about
Interesting.
it.
Very
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been reading tarot since high school, probably. I think I was started when I was like 16. That's like how old this deck is.
Is it important to have the same deck all the time?
Some people prefer to have two decks. I actually asked this deck about getting another one, and it was like, bad things will happen if you get another deck.
Okay, I can take it.
And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just keep this one.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Well, at least it didn't mince words.
True. I mean, I like this deck, so.
It's nice.
It's always,
beautiful.
it's right.
Huh. I guess that explains it.
Yeah.
She may have found some, I hope she found some peace.
Well, that concludes my first episode of Have You Ever Seen a Ghost? I hope you enjoyed, and maybe you've seen a ghost. If you have, let me know. Music was Dark Toys by SYBS. Special thanks to Michelle for letting me interview her. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed and hope to see you around.